Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And we are back for episode 412. Not a prime number, I'm guessing.
Definitely not. A lot of that seems very even.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every number except the 1, which is actually a 10, which is even.
Yep, which is part of the 12, which is even. What do
Which
you know?
is part of the 412, which is even.
We're so mad. Yeah, probably could have just been like, it's even, it's not prime, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, welcome back for yet another episode. We are in Christmas month. I did a bad job at finding actual Christmas stories, but I did manage to wedge one right in the middle of our web dropping. So look for that little tiny nugget of Christmas in this sort of Christmas episode.
Yeah.
I was going to actually bring the Pornhub map.
I was thinking about doing that
we might
too,
bring that New Year's.
Yeah, but I was thinking about it because it's out already, but I'm like, I like that for our year-end roundup. So we can do that for either like probably the last show of first show of 2025 / last show we record of 2025 probably.
It also is interesting because it has grayed out states because Pornhub's banned in so many states.
Oh, that's
so
right,
we can't even pull stats from the entire 50 states anymore.
Yeah, because I mean theoretically they don't. It's like they're VPNing and sending their search results to some other country or some other state.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Because people are definitely still watching other stuff. But yeah, we don't have like the 957,000 other sites that they can definitely still go to in those states.
It's so weird.
And that are definitely not as secure. But yeah, we're just gonna
it's like the TikTok ban. It makes no sense what they're doing.
It's just people. It's people who are just they need the appearance of a win, and they don't actually care about the outcome. They're like, it looks like we have a win, so let's just go ahead and go with it. Yeah. And it's like, well, you're not actually doing anything about the problem.
Of porn sites.
Yeah, they're like, well, we don't actually care about solving any problem. We just want to make it look like we got a win, so we get reelected and blah blah blah. Yeah. So there you go. That's how politics works, folks.
All right. And the only lost in thought I brought isn't anything like normal. It's more of there's no clear single story that we could put into web dropping, so we might as well just have a roundup talk.
Yeah. I mean, people have certainly heard about it by the time this one comes out, like a week from now.
Yep, and we've been talking off air ahead of the show about the UFOs found above 6 eastern states, New Jersey being the most famous,
They're being reported as drones, of course, but they are, as far as unidentified, as far as we don't know who owns them or where they come from. Maybe by the time this releases and you guys, you all hear this, we do know, but we're releasing this. We're recording this on Saturday the 14th. So.
I just want one, like, things break all the time. Planes crash.
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't one just go and crash into somebody's yard and then boom, photos?
I guess if there's only been like 20 of them. So if 1 out of 20 planes crashed, we'd probably have a place fell out of the sky. We'd probably over time eventually it'll work.
Well, I mean, if one of the theories is they're experimental government aircraft, experimental stuff's not proven tech.
And maybe it is now. This is proving it's pretty good.
But yeah, no one knows what they are. I've heard all kinds of things. I was just listening to some videos where one of the New Jersey congressmen literally went on camera on the news and was like, they're Iranian, they come from an Iranian mothership off the coast.
Yeah.
And then I've heard other people in government say they're not. It's very contradictory on every level.
Yeah.
People have shot at them. I watched a great video on Reddit this morning of a guy literally popping off shots with a rifle at one.
Yeah.
It looked like he missed, and it looked like it didn't care.
It
wasn't evading. It didn't pick up speed.
I would also be concerned about if it did care, because I don't Sure, I'd love to see one come down, but I don't know what it's going to do to me. What if it is an experimental government aircraft? They're like, yeah, we can't have you do that.
Yeah, and then you spend your life in federal jail,
or they just laser me down, like they fucking beam me up, or whatever the fuck they're going to do.
Or they're foreign, and that means we're being incursioned.
Yeah,
or incursed.
I don't know.
An incursion of foreign drones or UFOs, and we talked about that earlier. They got propellers, so I'm like, it can't be UFO. UFOs don't use propellers.
Yeah, but
what if it's vestigial propellers?
Yeah, I was thinking like a mimic type scenario where they're mimicking our stuff, so we'll be like, oh, it can't be UFOs. Wink, wink.
Yeah, they just slap some propellers that don't really do anything and some lights for show, and then they're like, oh, so it's an American UAV.
Yep.
Or
UAP. Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Yep.
Unidentified aerial vehicle
phenomena, yeah.
UAP,
a UAP.
I play a video game where you can put up drones above you called UAVs.
It's now I believe unidentified anomalous phenomena. Now it's
still
UAP. It's still UAP, but they're like, well,
UFO. It's a UFO.
Because that way it also covers USOs, which is unidentified submerged object. So
we don't need to do that.
So which is and those are like crazy. So they're like, oh, if it's just a UAP, it technically would be a UFO and a USO. bing bong boom, you've got one thing to use. So they're making things more confusing by trying to consolidate and simplify things, and it's just not working now. Yeah, but UAP, it's sort of like DUI when they changed DWI, because now it's just driving under the influence, because it could be a number of things. So we don't have to want to driving while intoxicated, driving while high,
can't breathalyze for meth.
Yeah,
love that line.
But so we're still waiting for information on this. I mean, hopefully within a week we'll find out more. This has been making such crazy rounds. I feel like if the government doesn't know about, the government should at least come out with some lie to tell us, because I feel like enough pressure has been put on so many people, and now government officials are being involved in it. And they're like, well, we can't tell all them everything, or we can classify it. And suddenly people like that New Jersey guy's going to be like, never mind, don't need to know what it is.
I mean, we have tracking abilities that, like, fucking back in the 90s, what was it, Enemy of the State with Will Smith? Like, they were tracking him from space with satellites as he ran down streets. That was the 90s.
Yeah, the fictional movie from the 90s. Are you telling me we can't do that right now?
I believe if you could imagine it in the 90s, you could do it 30 years later.
Yeah, and they essentially do that kind of thing, all but do that kind of thing with the technology they have.
So why don't they just track one of these
technology in China, which means, of course, the NSA and whatnot are definitely using that.
These things got fucking lights all over them. They're the size of SUVs.
Yeah,
follow one when it goes home.
Yeah.
Because they have to go somewhere at some point.
Again, I think they've already...
I could get in a car and probably just drive with one. You know what I mean?
I think they've already done it, and they kind of sort of know like what they're up against, and they're just not telling us. But that's just my faith / distrust in the government all rolled into
one. Then you have, why aren't they telling us? Is it because they are the governments, and they just are like, it's our secrets, we're not fucking telling you our secrets.
Or it really is aliens, we can't know, or it really is a foreign agent, and they're trying to figure out how to handle it without creating some kind of crazy war event by shooting down a bunch of Iranian drones and not knowing exactly what they're going to be like. What if these things are radioactive? We shoot them out of the sky and suddenly we fucking gas an entire town because it's got some kind of suicide mechanism or kill switch in it or something.
I have one other thought. Then we can probably move on.
I like just making shit up. I love it. This is my
I see why
people love
thought.
Misinformation so much. They can just speculate. Just speculate. Go, that's probably truth now. Yeah.
What if they are U.S. government and they are here to desensitize the population to weird shit in the sky because the government knows aliens are coming next year?
Yeah.
And this is a way to desensitize people and get them to be a little more comfy with seeing weird shit in the sky.
Well, and a lot of people have been...
Which means they're coming to the East Coast first, because why aren't they doing this nationwide?
Yeah, you'd think that would be more of a nationwide rollout. Unless it's a pilot program kind of thing.
If you start seeing these drones across the country in a week...
This is the test kitchen.
Then I'm really going to be in my thought where it's like, oh, they're desensitizing us.
Yeah, the New England test kitchen is for... Or the UFO test kitchen is what we are. So. Yeah.
Then a mothership comes down, and we've already had a month of seeing things in the sky we don't know about, and we're like,
it's like that.
We're tired of it by then. Yeah. It's like,
yawn,
fucking UFO, big
yawn,
one.
What's next? What else we got? So, yeah. My cat was trying to catch one, I think.
Yeah, I was watching your cat try to catch a UFO.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
So I guess we'll probably have an update maybe before our interview next week if there is one to give.
Which I guess if that's the update, then you guys already know the update, and we'll be giving you the update a week after, which means we'll be giving you the update probably about the time that you guys listen to this one.
Oh yeah, so we probably should stay away from updates on that episode.
Yeah, probably. I mean, well, it depends on how crazy it is, because maybe, who knows, maybe something that big is probably going to get some news, I would say.
If aliens come down from the sky, we'll do a special episode.
Yeah, like doing our I can
promise you I'll want to get on a mic and talk about aliens if they come down.
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody is going to be fine listening to that. It doesn't matter if it comes out a week late or not. But generally our updates on web droppings, because people aren't going to hear updates on those ridiculous stories anywhere else. But yeah, we'll play it by ear, see what happens. Maybe you guys already know more than we do, because you guys are from the future.
I just kind of wish I lived in New Jersey, because I would be taking steps. I'd be like, honey, tonight I'm going out. You going to the bar? Nope. I'm going to drive my car around. I'm going to find a UFO. I'm going to follow it home tonight. I'll be back in the morning. Maybe.
Yeah.
Unless the government catches me.
Yeah, my guess is it's like following one home is going to be a little tough, because it's just going over forests and shit.
They fly as the crow flies.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can drive as the crow flies, but I'm going to get a lot of charges.
Yeah. Stuck in the old Jersey pines. You want to come? I think it was just the Jersey Devil, actually. The Jersey Devil got like a fucking Jersey Devil 2.0 AI remix update. And now was the Jersey Devil's like, yeah, motherfucker, I got drones.
What if they're not drones? What if they're holograms of drones that we're projecting?
Cool.
Because then there'd be a big explanation of why we're not catching them, grabbing them, shooting them down, etc.
Yeah.
They're just images of drones.
Where's the so there'd have to be like some kind of
they only come out at night.
Some kind of way to beam them without us being able to see the beam.
Yeah.
But they'd have to be particles and then have them stop it. So that would be technology probably even more complicated than the drones themselves.
And they could be testing that on our shores just because there's no harm. It's not going to hurt anyone. Just fucking little pictures of UFOs in the sky.
And people are falling for it. They're like, okay, this is psychological warfare.
And then you bring this over to Russia and have Russia invaded by aliens. Air quote.
Yeah.
And it's our tech.
Or we can just have somebody whip something like a sweet ass fucking thing up in Blender that looks crazy. Like, this is what we have now. And Russians are just like, whoa, no.
Yep.
And then we just go, yeah, that's right. But it's not a hologram. Don't try to shoot at it.
Don't shoot at it.
Yeah. Don't pay attention to the fact that you can definitely see the moon behind it. It's because it's transparent too. Yeah. And visibility cloak. Yeah. Take that. So
you never know.
Yeah.
Spitballing here. It's fun to spitball. You're right. You're right. Conspiracy theories are fun to make up on the fly.
I can see why people get into it because the difference with us, we're like, that was some fun making up. And people, the way the conspiracy theory thing works, people say that and then it goes back into their dumb fucking heads and they go, oh, I just heard that from somebody one time. They're like, you said it. You said it. No, I think I heard somebody say this one time and then suddenly it becomes a fact from your own dumb fucking mouth.
I'm going to do that next time I'm talking to someone and they bring this up. But I heard on this podcast that there might be like projectors of UFOs.
You're not lying. It might actually just be holograms that they were doing as a psyop to freak out.
I heard about it on this podcast.
Yeah, I heard it out. Yeah, this podcast, award winning.
Yep.
Two big dick guys fucking talk about shit.
They seem like they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, they got big fucking cocks though. They can please a woman, tell you that much. Anyway, but yeah, I think we're gonna have some fun with this one, and we'll see where it goes. And hopefully, maybe by the time you guys hear this, you already know what's up, and you guys know more than us. But we are looking forward to staying up on this one. And but we're not gonna abandon our regular show, Scott. I think it's time to get in some web droppings.
Yes, it is.
Web droppings, they're falling through. So bizarre, you won't believe it's true.
All right, I titled my first story, "I'm Not a Ghost."
Yep.
Fucking, this could have come out during Halloween. Would have been great. Man, this guy could have just done this 2 months earlier. This thing he did, where a man spends 3 days in a well after villagers mistaken his cries for help for ghost wailing.
Yeah. Oh, this fucking poor guy.
I know.
There's a movie from 2012, a little almost like a mumblecore horror movie called "I Am a Ghost" from 2012. I was trying to remember if it was "I Am a Ghost" or "I'm Not a Ghost," but
okay.
Spoiler alert: the person is a ghost.
Oh. Yeah. Really shouldn't be giving that away like that. The Sixth Sense and Ghost Dad. You really shouldn't be giving away those hidden endings.
Would it be great if Ghost Dad, the twist was that he was a ghost the whole time, but they're like,
but the title's Ghost
Dad. Yeah. Also, he's a rapist.
And they almost called the Sixth Sense Ghost Psychologist.
Yeah.
Ghost Child Psychologist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we've covered this before, but the alternate title in China or whatever, the poorly translated title or whatever, was like, he's a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I was listening to a quiz show on another podcast. It was a Christmas, like what we do on the show, where we do quizzes once in a while. And they were just taking the original titles of Christmas movies from other countries, and you had to figure out what the American version was.
Oh, cool.
And once again, had crazy stuff just like that, where I was like, man, they really don't. They reach when they come up with the foreign titles. Like, can't they just do 1-to-1 translations?
Yeah, seriously.
Miracle on 34th Street, I believe in Argentina, is called Susanna Converts. Which I believe is the name of the little girl in it, and at the end she believes in Santa again, and that's her. It's Susanna's conversion, and it just sounds so weird.
First of all, that sounds like a documentary exposing Christian conversion camps or something like that.
Or trans conversions.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like when those conversion camps where the gay conversion camps that are run by Christian gay conversion camps. That's what it reminds me of. It pulls out
like a line from the movie where she basically goes, "Yeah, I do believe in Santa," and they're like, "That's her conversion." Whole movie's about that.
Yeah, you're like, actually, that's kind of the end. So we're bearing the lead here, and people are like, "What happened to the guy?"
Oh, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
All right, 22-year-old man named I'm just gonna guess here, Liu Shanyi. Spent 3 grueling days at the bottom of a 12-meter deep well, about 36 feet for you Americans, in a remote forest near the Thailand-Myanmar border. Villagers heard his cries for help. They just mistook him for ghosts.
I mean, maybe I don't think.
Hey, fucking ghosts.
My government
Shut up,
ID
ghost.
number is 6612. Call my parents. Oh, parents are probably dead if you are. No, I'm not a ghost. That's what a ghost would say. Hey, good try, ghosty. Try to get me down your hell well. Yeah, I'm not even going to look down there to see if you're a real person. Because you can't be. Because those are ghostly
It's so
whales.
sad if you could even hear the people up there. They're like,
yeah.
"Did you hear that? Yeah, it's probably ghosts."
Probably ghosts.
And then
No!
you just hear footsteps walking away.
No, I'm not a ghost. That's
what
a
a
classic
ghost would
ghost. Classic ghost ruse.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's fill this thing in with cement.
Get rid of the ghost hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's like a beep, beep, beep.
Oh, no.
I'm being saved. And then, blub, blub, blub,
Yeah, all right,
cement.
fill the ghost hole, boys. That'll put an end to his deathly wails. Is that you, Johnny? Billy? Oh, man, Billy's dead? Fill in the hole. He probably fell down a well or something. I also love that that's my Thai accent. Thai accent. They got an American cement company to pull.
Yeah, yeah. They fly him in.
Yeah.
It's cheap to fly a cement truck in.
Yeah, not even the guy
To
to
the
do it.
jungle.
The whole truck
Yeah.
filled with cement. Like they just don't have the
Drop it in the
technology.
jungle, fill in the hole, pick it back up, fly
All right.
away.
Yep.
So this is reported by news outlets, and authorities believed at this time that Lou was tracking through the forest when he fell into an abandoned well, sustaining severe injuries, including a fractured wrist and a concussion. He could not climb out. He was alone, and his shouts for help were basically met with, "It's a ghost."
Yep. For days.
3 days he spent down there with no food or water.
Yep. Yeah. And he was screaming. At first, he was screaming a lot, and then he realizes like, I need to preserve my energy. So about once every hour, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he would just scream on the hour.
I don't know if he had a
That
watch
ghost
with
is
him.
punctual.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the old hourly ghost whale. Yeah.
Kids, but you go to bed. You heard it was the seventh whale of the day past lunch. You always go to bed on the seventh whale, kids.
But yeah, so he switched it up to about once an hour to try to conserve his energy because he's like, wait, I might be down here for a while.
This could be his fault too. He could be down there literally going, "Oh,
Help me! I'm yeah.
He was cursed with that voice at birth.
Yeah. Oh God, that's gonna be Moanin' Joey that fell down that well. No, he sounds a little different than that. He doesn't sound so echoey. Yeah, but I think that's what he'd sound like down a well.
Yeah, I never seen it sound that echoey.
Sounds exactly like him, but with more of an echo.
So it's definitely not him.
Yeah, couldn't be him.
Unless he learned how to echo.
All right, back her up, boys. Beep, beep. Fucking seventh fucking ghost hole we filled in this week.
So the only reason he was saved was one of the people who heard the ghost sounds literally went to the police station, said, "I hear ghost sounds in the woods."
Did the thing, like, even if you're somebody who believes they're ghosts, maybe we should call the police and report a ghost.
Yeah.
You know? Just, it could have happened. And the thing that really is so frustrating, it took only 30 minutes to rescue him.
Yeah.
Like, he could have been out of there in, like, an hour. And he spent 3 days.
I wonder how deep into the woods. Like, this could have just been in someone's backyard.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even have been in a jungle.
Like they're still, like,
it's
going
a residential neighborhood.
They're still dropping a bucket to, like, literally get water out of it.
Hits him.
Like, clunk, clunk. Ow! Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, he's like clinging to it.
They're bringing the water in their house, pouring a pot. Well, you really taste the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. With the
It must have been a dry well then if he had no food or water.
Yeah,
or water.
Yeah, exactly.
Being in a well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It was
The irony.
This seems
dying
like it
of
was,
thirst in a well.
it was an abandoned well, so I'm guessing
Yeah.
it's the reason you abandon wells usually. I guess.
That's amazing. The irony of dying of thirst in a well.
Oh yeah. Oh, just because you couldn't actually like get your hands up or like bend down.
Isn't it ironic? That's all.
Yeah. When you're dying in a well of thirst, isn't it ironic?
Yeah, it's about as good as I could do.
Why didn't you just drink out of it? Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot that call and response section of Atlantis It's ironic.
That's where I said a lot of call and response to that Jagged Little Pill album.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Jagged Little Pill call and response version.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's like day on a rainy day. Well, you have it inside or was it outside? Because if it's inside, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's supposed to actually be good luck.
Should really have a planned backup venue.
Yeah. I know a guy, actually. Next time around, you should actually have a backup venue. Any place you go, should be able to do it rain or shine, you know? Don't want to be stuck in that kind of situation again. It's pretty ironic. Oh, it's the song.
And then just click play the song.
Yeah.
You let it go.
Hey! Yep.
Lou is now recovering in a hospital. Authorities plan to question him about the circumstances leading to his ordeal.
I fell down a fucking well.
Yeah. Do you do this on purpose, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to be a ghost so bad. Couldn't wait till you died, could you?
They're just like slapping like a nightstick in their hand while they're talking to him.
Water. Yeah, we'll give you water after you were done questioning you.
All right. That wraps up the entire story. If you've ever fallen a well, figure out a better way to call for help than being a ghost.
Yeah, how about I guess I'm not a ghost again. That sounds
Something
like
a
you're a
ghost would
ghost.
say.
Yep. Yeah. I know this is something a ghost would say, but I'm not a ghost and I'm down a well. I felt this is the exact circumstances that led me here. You can check back, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not going to be, it's a very detailed ghost.
Yeah, we are actually in it's funny, it's the Christmas episode, more or less. Very little Christmas stories.
No.
And the next story brings us to another jungle on the other side of the world.
Oh, yeah. Or
Guyana.
A little down south.
Down south of us.
Yeah.
Guyana
Different
proposes site of the 1978 Jonestown massacre, the massacre where Jim Jones had all of his followers, not Kool-Aid, they drank Flavor Aid, full of poison and died.
Cheap-ass motherfuckers, and most of them were actually
I heard they just didn't have Kool-Aid in that country. Guyana they just didn't have it. They went to the store and they're like, we have Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
I can't kill people with Flavor Aid. What'd you say? Flavor Aid's not our first choice for killing.
Yeah, do you have any Hawaiian murder punch? A Hawaiian punch or the suicide aisles over there. Yeah, that one really masked the cyanide taste pretty well. Most of these people also didn't want to kill themselves, and they
shot them.
They were forced at gunpoint to drink the stuff, and if they didn't, they were shot. And then Jim Jones himself, when he saw the people writhing in agony and dying and realizing how fucking horrible it is to die of cyanide poisoning, he was like, "Oh, I don't want to die that way," and he fucking cowered it out and had the guy shoot him with his gun instead. So.
I can't imagine those people like sat there mixing the Flavor Aid in their vats or whatever. Someone had to at some point been like, taste it, just to be like, that's good. That's good. You don't need to add any more packets. Like, it's going to kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
But someone was like, well, this one needs like 3 more packets.
Yeah, couple more cups of sugar. Yeah.
You got Jim up on the pedestal there, like, it doesn't matter how it tastes.
Yeah.
It can just be fucking water.
I don't know. The kids aren't going to drink their whole glass. They don't have to. They're children.
Yeah. We're going to get 1-star reviews on this Flavor Aid.
Yeah. The Yelp review.
You got to make it taste good. You can't get repeat business unless it tastes good.
Yeah. Cherry flavor was pretty good, but I died. 1 star.
Yeah. But so they're gonna make a tourist attraction essentially. The whole deal here is they want to take people down and do tours, make money off of this. It's always money. That's the number one factor.
And you've got to hand it like I think it's clearly distasteful and all that kind of stuff, and especially since it was the ultimately Americans who were the victims of this. It was.
But Guyana's image got hurt.
But also, like, Guyana, like, they're not a particularly rich, country anyway.
Yeah, so they're looking to make some money.
Be like, hey, we could bring rich tourists in. The work involved in just going to that location, it was not exactly, if they haven't already made it a tourist attraction, I can't imagine it's any easier to get to these days.
No.
Through a fucking jungle.
They'll have to make a path.
Yeah, they'll make it clear. There's already, roads and shit to get there, but it's just so far out. You can't, fly in whatever the closest airport or it is, and then
it might be cheaper to just put an airstrip in next to it for small planes.
Yeah. They flew one of those little puddle jumper type, aeroplanes in when the ones that got shot down. Those are like the old hand crank fucking propellers that fit 10 people on or whatever. But those were from a nearby airport, and those are ones that can get just land on a regular old dirt runway or something like that. So
yeah, I get the distastefulness of this idea. Are there survivors of Jonestown?
There's very few. Well, there's survivors who survived by there's survivors of the cult who got out right before it happened because they kind of knew what was going on, and they were whistleblowers as well. But then I believe the only one there was the congressman who died. There was Jackie Spire is one that comes to mind. Actually, she's mentioned right in here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there were definitely people who got out. After that, but I can't remember if she was the one.
Even in
the
story, it doesn't really give you a solid number anywhere. I know there had to be a survivor.
Oh, well, she is for sure. But there were probably other ones as well but I do know that they essentially I can't remember if she was the one that survived by playing dead or it was one of the other guys. There are survivors, actually.
If I saw people drink something and fall down dead and I had a cup in my hand, I'd probably just do like the little fake tip and then just drop it and fall down and twitch a little.
So as far as their followers, there were 0 survivors of the followers. So
Damn.
The only people who survived were the people who went into rescue the followers who then were mowed down by Jim Jones and the mercenaries. So that included the congressman who was killed, which obviously caused suddenly it caused a splash over here. Like, oh fuck, like a fucking acting congressperson went over there and was actually fucking killed by a cult, and somebody survived. But yeah.
So if they reopen this place and they turn into a tourist attraction, you got to imagine they're going to bring people through and just tour like the houses, the field where they died, the grandstand. They'll probably rebuild all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing tastelessly they're gonna have like Flavor Aid you could drink.
I would hope not. I hope that I would assume this would be more like
what do you do if you go? You just walk around a circular field area with a couple of houses.
I think so, and they'll have little plaques up. It's sort of like when you walk through like
it feels like a long ways to go just to walk around a circle.
People do. They're like the true crime fucking obsessionists, man. They will absolutely go just to walk around because like how many people do the same thing when they go to like ghost towns and stuff where there's like a couple of stones and then like here's a picture. Like they'll have pictures of what was there probably. I don't know. But if I were to do it like that, but I don't know how tasteless they're going to get. My thought it would be more like the to honor the victims of in that guise, but really just to bring people there. I mean, I don't think the old fucking like rides and shit like that, like a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
There was like if there was just like Flavor Aid at like first of all, I wouldn't trust it, but.
It would take one psycho fan to actually poison it to make a name for themselves.
Yep.
Jonestown 2, I did it.
Yep. Yeah.
But this got me thinking that I saw it was like 2-3 weeks ago, there was a ghost town in America that was for sale for $100,000.
Yeah.
Full town.
Yeah.
Houses, streets, empty swimming pools, warehouses, etc. It's a town. $100,000 is not a number you can't get a bank to give you a loan for. That's not an incredibly high number considering housing loans.
People literally have to get more than that for housing loans. Yeah.
So, and people love like military games like Call of Duty and shit like that. Buy that entire town and make it one big like Call of Duty
like a
LARP course.
Yeah, LARP, like
LARPing.
Yeah.
So you go in, you dress up, and you just play paintball through the streets, the houses. You could have a fucking whole town. You could cordon it off in sections and have games going on like 9 games at once where they don't even cross.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd make that 100,000 back.
I wonder what kind of
fast.
what kind of conditions come with like that kind of purchase. I feel like they're just trying to like you feel like a developer would just get it just to mow things down and have a
I would just
land, but
be like I need $200,000, $100,000 to buy the town, another $100,000 to develop my business, buy the paintball stuff, buy the gear, get some good lawyers.
Yeah.
Because you want an airtight contract that those people sign when they go in, where if they step on broken glass or the towns are radiated, like they can't sue you later.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything you can make somebody sign where if you accidentally
radiate them.
Yeah, because I think that's probably something you can, I don't know, test for ahead of time. that might be you might not get your permit.
It was cheaper printing out the extra page that detailed how you're on your own if you start glowing.
Yeah. I don't know if this is can hold up in court so much. Whatever. They're gonna be dead.
That was the idea. Like if you could just buy an entire town, what would you do then? In my head, I'm like, wow, it's like destroyed. Like keep destroying it. Make it a paintball course essentially, where people can smash shit and break stuff and like paint up the whole town, and no one cares what gets shot.
Yeah, do it.
It'd be kind of fun. But similar to this, if they're gonna make some money, go for it. I guess there's so few people who are actually gonna be impacted, like survivors.
Well, no, it would be like there's 900 Americans and their entire families, and they're still alive.
Families.
So there's probably like thousands of people who are still impacted by. I mean, it only happened in '78. You figure if there are people, brothers, kids, stuff like that.
I don't know.
Actually,
this is a
there
very
were people
area.
who also were rescued before that happened that are out there now that survived Jonestown specifically because they were able to get out well ahead of then. Like it wasn't very easy, but there not very many, but there are some that got out. There's definitely people who will be impacted, mostly family and friends.
All right. Well,
So.
I guess
again,
it's such a great area. I don't know how to treat it.
It's not up to us. It's not our country. So,
all right. So we have one Christmas story. Might as well just bang that out in the middle of the show.
Yep.
Dead center. This story comes out of Russia, and they're gonna ban Santa. They're gonna kick Santa Claus out of Russia.
Yep.
Why? Because he's too Western. Basically, all of Russia's enemies.
Howdy, partner. Yeah, Coca-Cola.
Not that kind of Western, but yeah, close enough,
yeah.
honestly. Close enough.
Yeah, as far as they're concerned.
All of Russia's enemies are countries that love Santa Claus.
Yeah,
so they're
yeah.
like, well, we probably shouldn't be celebrating the beloved character of our enemies.
Yeah, it is very, and I mean, it like straight up, right up, like I was mentioning the Joe Bob Christmas special, Christmas Carnage last night. Was on December 13th, or Friday the 13th, but they showed Rare Exports, and that's a Finnish movie, and of course there's a big conflict with the Russians in that movie because, I mean, it's not like specifically, but they allude to the conflict they have with the Russians and have to like go over the border because it's right on the border, and but that they when Joe Bob was talking about how even the Finnish, because they have the badass Santa Claus in Finland, who was more of like he's more of a Krampus type character, and they've been even the guy who made Rare Exports has been on this been trying to get rid of what they would call the Santa Claus, the Coca-Cola Santa Claus, because he's like, oh, that's the Americanized version of Santa Claus. But then even so, especially this version of Santa Claus is especially considered like not just like even European, but very Western, Britain. It's the colonial Santa Claus anyway.
Yeah.
The
colonizer
yeah.
Santa.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Vitaly Borodin, leader of the Federal Project on Security and Combating Corruption, sent a letter to Russia's prosecuting general imploring the iconic Christmas figure be designated a foreign agent due to his popularity in unfriendly countries, which use his image to undermine traditional Christmas values. Russia is considered a Christian nation, and I guess I kind of get how they'd want to push out the commercial Santa.
Well, especially with the Russian Orthodoxy is big enough to where they have influence. So, and that's like crazy Christian. Crazy Catholics.
This person, Borodin, is known for filing police reports against purported enemies of the state. He has done this to journalists, singers, songwriters, and even an entire chocolate manufacturer. Who knows what the fuck they did, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sounds like this person is like a Karen, essentially, like the Russian Karen.
It's like an MTG.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah,
everybody's the enemy.
Yeah, and it's just just anybody who wrongs them is just like, they're an enemy of the state. And it's like, they revoked your parking pass. Like, they're not an enemy of the state. You just don't like them.
Yep, they want to pull all Santa Claus items from all store shelves and replace them with Dead Moros. Great name.
I know,
also known as Father Frost and Snegoraka. Ooh, I knew I didn't say that right.
Yep.
The daughter of Dead Moros.
We gotta fucking bleep that one.
Yeah, also known as the Snow Maiden.
Yeah.
Snegoraka.
Yeah.
I can't even, you almost want to say it kind of Russian-y.
Dude, when I was watching that Finnish movie last night, and I was, reading, paying attention to the words coming out of their mouth and reading the subtitles, there's no way they're saying this stuff. It's such a foreign language.
Like 3 lines of dialogue are said at the bottom. It goes, no. No.
Yeah. And it's, and then a name would pop up. I'm like, well, I can hear that one. That's correct. But it's crazy, the differences in certain languages with us. Yeah.
Yep. So the story goes on, but I don't think we really need to get into more of the details. Instead, I did grab from Wikipedia a little bit of who Father Frost is, because I think we may have covered him.
I love Dead Moros. Is fucking such a cool.
We did our Christmas cryptids 8 years ago.
Yeah,
we may have touched
on him. I know we focus so heavily on the bad Santas and the Krampuses and the other. The creepy ones and stuff like this. And I don't know how creepy Father Frost is, if he's just more of a Santa Claus type figure. I have not read this one specifically. So
here's the synopsis on this character from Wikipedia. Apparently it's from the story he comes from, Father Frost, a fairy tale.
Yeah, I know the story's in the 1800s, the 19th century. Came pretty much with all the fancy Russian literature at the time. So
maybe, yeah, okay. A woman has a daughter whom she loves, and a stepdaughter whom she hates. One day, the woman orders her husband to take her stepdaughter out into the winter wilderness and leave her there to die, and he obeys.
Wow. I love that back in those days, he could just do that. Be like, I don't like you. I have a favorite.
He obeys, leaving her at the foot of a tree in the forest. Father Frost finds her there, and because the girl is polite and kind to him, he gives her a chest full of beautiful jewels and fine garments. Sometimes later, the stepmother sends the girl's father to retrieve her body for burial. That's nice. They actually want to bury her.
There you go.
And is enraged when he instead brings the girl back happy and alive and dressed in finery. Consumed by greed and envy, the woman orders her husband to take her own to take her own daughter to the same place, but when found by Father Frost, the woman's daughter is rude and unkind to him, and he is inclined to punish rather than reward her.
Ah, yes.
So they take the shitty daughter next to the woods.
You're not
the daughter she liked, who's now the shitty daughter.
Who's rude, and so it's a naughty or nice thing. It's very similar. Yeah.
And is inclined to punish rather than reward her. The father finds her frozen to death at the foot of the tree and carries her body back to the grief-stricken mother. In the Grimm version, apparently Grimm did this too, the girl is covered with gold and silver coins while the rude child is covered with cement, mud, flour, and pitch.
Oh man, I love the fucking Grimms, man.
So Father Frost is a spirity creature thing that lives in the woods and will reward and punish.
It seems like a naughty or nice, but instead of a lump of coal, you get fucking murdered or buried alive. Yeah, okay. See, I love those, and actually, that was what they were
in
getting
Russia,
at.
Santa kicks you out third-story window. Pretty much.
Yeah. With the talking about the rare exports one when they were talking like the type of Santa that like even after they had like. It was essentially when you tell your kids, like, you bet, naughty or nice, it is literally like, oh, because then Santa will put you in a sack and fucking kidnap you and kill you, and which is, or eat you or whatever, which is very Krampusy, only, but it is very based on, again, naughty or nice, but instead of like, oh, you just won't get that Nintendo Switch, they're like, you'll get fucking killed, Timmy.
It's extremes. It's like you go into the woods nice asking for a Nintendo Switch and they give you Nintendo.
Yeah.
The company.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But then
and then the other one, they torture you to death.
If you're mean, instead of just not getting it, they fucking torture you. They
it's extreme.
They press you with stones and fucking watch you pop like a fucking bug.
Oh, that's Russia for you.
Yep. It's those cold countries, man. They fucking their fairy tales are fucking dark. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's those countries where 90% of the time, if you leave your house and you're not dressed properly, you die.
Yeah.
So it's harsh. The world is harsh.
Yeah, and you got to be like, yo, kid, like you're gonna go out and get fucking gored by a reindeer if you don't, if you fuck around. So
and then you get like Hawaii, where they're like, here's Pompey, the pineapple friend who surfs with you.
I hope that's their Christmas.
Whoa, radical, dude.
Pompey. Bro, the pineapple that surfs. Merry Christmas, dude.
It's just the warmer climates have happier characters and things.
Oh, we got to do whatever. Pumpy the pineapple might be the
surfing pineapple.
The surfing pineapple might be the name of the show, just so you can generate the image.
Sure.
Because I feel like that is definitely what. I mean, still gotta be Christmas, like just one Christmas hat, but fucking palm trees and surfing.
Because it's weird to celebrate Christmas in a warm climate.
Yeah, but it's got to be like that would be their fucking Santa Claus. I mean, I know they technically also have a regular Santa Claus, but no, Pumpy the surfing pineapple. Whoa, radical, bro.
But usually, the colder the climate, the weirder the Christmas holiday seasonal things are, and the warmer the climate, it typically doesn't go that same way. It's a little happier.
Yeah.
I can't give you any real examples, and maybe it's just feelings I'm working off of, but I don't know. I just see it as a different, like a switch. There's a switch.
Yeah. I get it. It's, I mean, I
maybe I'm just using our American Santa as a bias, because America's, both cold as fuck, but only part of the year, and then warm as fuck all the time. So we trend warmer in general, and our Santa's nice as fuck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
the worst thing he does is he gives you fossil fuels to burn in your stove.
Well, and see, exactly.
It costs a lot to heat a house in the winter.
A
bad kid can at least bring down your heating bills.
I was just gonna say, bad, Timmy. You got to be real bad this year. Fucking the oil prices spiked. We're gonna be burning coal.
Tariffs are going through the roof. You better start killing kittens, Timmy.
Yeah, come on, stomp a good one. But
stomp them good, Timmy.
I don't know if it matters how good I stomp them, Dad. I think just the fact that I do will make me bad. No, Santa's looking at your quality of your workmanship here. All right,
we need coal to burn in our wood stove.
Could just burn the kittens. Good thinking, son. But we need the body so Santa can see it and see just how good of a job you did stomping these cats. Another thing about like I could also see why they might hate Christmas up in those very, very northern climates is once again with Joe Bob pointing out that starting in late December, mid to late December is when they start with essentially the pretty much the 24-hour cycle of pure blackness. 30 days of night is a great. I mean, granted, I think that may have been in Alaska, but like
everyone has to do blackface for 30 days.
30 days of night.
I didn't. First year in Alaska, I didn't understand the job.
Oh boy!
One day you go to work in blackface.
Oh guys! Oh, I probably should have learned a little bit about your culture first.
30 days of dark.
Yeah. That's not what we meant.
No.
30 Days of Night. Yeah, that's a solid horror movie, actually. It's a really fun one.
It's a really good horror movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one in quite a while. That'd be a fun one.
The sequel was okay.
I don't think I saw the sequel. Was it 30 Days?
I think it was direct to
bin.
bin or something.
Yeah, direct to bin. Yeah,
Yeah.
we came up with a new term the other day.
Direct to bin.
D2B. But yeah, so yeah, we got a couple more stories here. This one is adjacent to I would say Christmas adjacent because it's like
Because it deals with a gift for a kid.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And really, so there was a company called Embodied, and they made a AI robot called Moxie. Now, this robot costs $800, and it is connected to large language models that will connect to the internet, and your kid can talk to it. And of course, it'll interpret the voice, and just have a conversation with your kid. It'll essentially be a little kid's companion, and it's an adorable robot. Somebody pointed out accurately, it looks like something straight out of Pixar or like Studio Ghibli or something like that. Very adorable little thing, and like even in promo pic, this little girl hugging it and enjoying it. It's probably stands a couple feet tall, So yeah, it's very adorable, very sweet. The problem is the company Embodied is now going out of business, and they're closing their doors. And they said, hey, within a handful of days, we're not going to be able to afford obviously the extremely expensive large language model API calls to have your kid talk to this thing. So literally, Moxie's just gonna die. Not like so. Now you've got all these parents who not only pissed about the fact that they spent $800. And this thing is like only a couple years old now.
They'll give you your money back if you just purchased it. Apparently,
yeah. So if you just purchased it, unless you purchased it on a payment plan, in which case you're like, well, technically we don't have the money, so you can just stop pay that company, but they paid us, but we can't directly reimburse you, and we can't do anything with them, so you're fucked in that case. So if you were poor enough to need to get one on a payment plan, then you are actually more fucked than if you bought it outright.
You know what I want? I want a Poltergeist movie in the future where like everything in the house starts going haywire. The like smart fridge starts yelling at the family. Like their phones get all fucky. Everything's fucky. And then like they talk to the realtor, and he's like, "Yeah, over here used to be a Moxie factory. Did you move the factory? No, it just buried it all. It's just buried robots."
Yeah.
You moved the factory, but you didn't move the bodies.
Yeah,
but it's just a bunch of Moxies underground that are half alive and like fucking with the electronics in the house.
So they're like transmitting their messages through the other electronics because they're somehow still attached to the large language model.
Maybe they had induction charging, and in the future, induction charging goes into all houses. So you can charge your phone just by walking in your front door.
Yeah. So
if your house signals are buried Moxie, it starts charging it.
Yeah, and then the person next door was also buried on top of they built on top of a Moxie factory, but it was the soft drink, and it was like everything's so sweet in my house. It's very
everyone who moves in that house just becomes diabetic.
Yeah. It's diabetic over here, and these fucking haunted appliances.
On the other side.
Boy, we really got ourselves into a scrape.
That actually was the end of a thought I had. The beginning was when these things die, the kid's going to be heartbroken. It's their friend.
Yes.
You're going to have to, number one, teach them about death at an early age, right there. And then probably have a funeral for these things, once again, putting them in the ground.
And they're pretty much pointing out a lot of things like that. They're like, a lot of people aren't even that upset about the price. Obviously, losing $800 is losing $800. Your kid was probably going to grow out of it, in a short period of time anyway.
Dude, but 3 families later, they decided to dig up a pool, like in Poltergeist.
Oh, yeah.
And they had like a clank, clank, clank. Like, what's that? Start moving the dirt. It's just like this dead robot in the ground. Like,
one of these things,
what is happening?
Eyes staring up at you, like would be freaked out, and they turn them back on. But yeah, they're
Night of the Living Moxies.
A lot of this is also just a warning. So like they're like, because large language models are all have to be done remotely. Nobody's running them locally because you can't have that kind of and it requires a lot of power and a lot of GPU costs and all this kind of stuff. In other words, they're expensive. So if a company goes out of business or if it's not profitable, then suddenly your shit's just going to stop working. Now this is the problem for everything, but look, when we're talking about AI companionship, which is really, really taking off in a lot of cases, it's like, what will that do to people, not just children, but especially children, like in their psychological state?
What if the company goes under? They tell their kid it's dead. They teach them a lesson about death. They go out in the backyard. They have a funeral, and then Amazon buys this company, and they reboot all the robots and turn them on. And all of a sudden, like the kids asleep in their bedroom, and out their window they hear, "Jenny, Jenny, it's dark in here."
Yeah, oh my God.
Moxie,
What did you do, Jenny?
I hear Moxie outside. Yeah, yesterday you heard some ghost in a well.
Yeah. It turned out
You're always hearing something.
Turned out to be a guy. Yeah, well, yeah, but this time it probably really isn't. But yeah, so that's that one. We got, just watch out getting anything where that relies on large language models for their entire functionality. Obviously,
I'd be
plenty
afraid
of
of
stuff on
any
phones.
upstart, brand new tech company that's got a lot of bells and whistles and has only been around for a couple months. I'd just be wary of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that's not how companies succeed. They want people to not be wary of them. But
it'd be one thing
be.
if you're purchasing a physical thing that will just like, okay, that company's out of business, but my lawnmower still works. It's gonna be hard to get repair parts, but hey, I could probably figure something out. Whatever, like aftermarket things. But we're talking about things that literally, as soon as the company shuts down, like it just won't work. It's like getting a computer and like. Suddenly, if the company shuts down, they're like, well, now you just literally can't do anything.
Yeah, I learned my lesson after buying my last sortie.
Sortie,
Panaphonics.
Yeah, Panaphonics.
Magnet box.
Magnet box.
Yeah, all those. That got burned so many times.
Yeah. Shout out to The Simpsons, early days. But we got one more story for you. And, this actually takes place in the same part of the world. We're talking about Sweden, folks. And
bork the bork the bork.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bork. And I just realized I ended up closing that story to look for other sources because we weren't sure if
I have that story open. I can start you.
I've got it. Yeah, but I know enough about it here anyway. Really, in short, in 2023, Swedish government passed a new law that essentially any kid under 15, or maybe it was 15 and 15, child under 15. Cannot be arrested, detained, or prosecuted for any crime. It also erased all criminal punishments for children existing, exonerating them, or whatever you would call that. So now this already sounds like kind of a crazy idea, because imagine if you just said, hey kids, you can do anything you want and you can't get in trouble for it. Like, it immediately led to more crimes, only not really, because I guess are they crimes if they're not criminal offenses?
True. Yeah.
Like they're technically criminal. They should be. So it immediately led to an uptick. Sure, maybe if you've talked about like, oh, we try them, make sure they can never be tried as an adult if they're that age, which they generally aren't anyway. But this is where like maybe some liberal democracies go a little too far. This is like the social democratic party in Sweden, but. I'm liberal, and I think you should be able to try more kids as adults, not the opposite.
Well,
it's just really, and I get like, when you're like, okay, we need to make sure like. If you're just saying, okay, there's absolutely no accountability now, kids are going to kids are like intentionally push boundaries, and they need to find out what the boundary is. You're like, no boundaries until you're 15. They're like, oh, let me get all of my shit out of the way. Like, dude, I would have fucking done more shit like crazy if I knew like, oh, my parents are gonna get I'm gonna get in trouble with my parents, but
You'd
not
probably
the law.
go on a state list or something.
Yeah, like you
can't put you in jail. They can't give you a record, but I bet you go on a list.
Well, to
watch out for.
It was a big enough issue with that kind of happening, but now the biggest issue, because it is technically, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a patch in this law where like, well, okay, maybe some crimes we should consider crimes, because it was literally any crime. So now you have all these gangs actively recruiting on social media and other means, but mostly through social media. They are actively recruiting 14-year-olds, 14, 13-year-olds. Kids are pretty much like, you're old enough to definitely fuck some people up. And there's actually literally reports of 14-year-old assassins, and these people are they've got numbers under their fucking belt. Like they're working for professional gangs now, and they're talking about like recruiting people from other countries and stuff like that. Be like, hey, this is a great place to live, but also you just live here so we can use your 14-year-old kid as fucking a hitman. So so big surprise. Not really. Suddenly the worst of society is going to take advantage of a loophole, and great job for the people who probably ignored dozens of people who came in and was like, this is exactly what's going to happen. They're like, nah, it doesn't matter. We're going to do it anyway because it feels right. And then
I like that they openly advertise for these kids too.
Yes. Oh my God. Like
it says Snapchat and TikTok.
Yeah. They literally are like, who wants to bombing today? Or like, who wants to shoot somebody in Stockholm?
Yeah. I just saw that.
Yeah. It's like literally just being like flat out, because they're like, well, I mean, if they could catch us, they would anyway. Like they obviously have ways to like cover their tracks, the gangs. But as far as the kids who get recruited, they're like, well, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like when, when you hear about like, in the mafia movies and stuff like that, where they'd have kids do certain things, not kill, because kids could get tried as adults as if they're like murdering, but they do certain like smaller level tasks because they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna get pinched, you're gonna do a couple months in juvie, and then you're gonna be out and you're gonna be fine. Like, so like it's. There needs to be some consequences for actions, I would say.
I mean, they are equal opportunity. They recruit girls and people with disabilities because they look less suspicious.
You know what? That's great.
So they're across the board. They'll hire anyone.
Yeah.
White, black, young, not old.
Even these
not old. They are ageist.
Oh yeah. The Swedish gangs are
disabilities, genders, race, none of that matters.
I love these
age. Fuck you, 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
or 16.
These Swedish gangs have like DEI programs. Yeah.
That's actually is remarkable, but it's for bad reasons, so you can't really get too excited.
It's not like, we care about it. It's like, nobody's gonna fucking think the Timmy in a wheelchair is gonna, or Bjorgen in a wheelchair is gonna be fucking packing heat under that.
Timmy's useful for once.
Yeah. Oh, Timmy did it.
Literally. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Timmy did it. Yeah.
So that's heinous, and let's hope they change the law.
Yeah,
that's about all I got.
My guess
it's too heinous of a story.
I feel like there's got to be some backpedaling on it. Although I did notice that this is ridiculous. One of the ways they're looking to address it is by they're mulling over limits on social media for kids under a certain age. So instead of just maybe making it less palatable for the gangs to want to recruit your kids, now they're gonna maybe if we just keep kids off social media, then they got all the fucking time in their hands, and by the way, and they're still gonna
keep kids off social media,
and they're still gonna find a way, and then they're gonna go to darker means, which is where the guys are hanging out already. They're coming to us now. Holy shit, we don't even have to go out and make fucking fake Snapchat profiles. Holy shit, the kids are just coming over to 4chan or the dark web.
Poor teachers just pay them a big old envelope of money to come into class and do a recruitment.
Oh shit, yeah. Although I don't know how I bet the teachers get paid better in Sweden. I just feel like they probably
yeah.
I feel like that.
I'm thinking in America, the teacher would be like, "Yeah, they're all yours."
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's like a 20 and a Starbucks, $20 Starbucks gift card.
Yeah, it's like
they're all yours.
I fucking hate these kids. They're terrorists already. Fuck it, they might as well make some money. I'm making some money. They can take care of their parents. And you guys are only killing bad people, right? Like Dexter style. Yeah, Dexter style. But yeah, so that's that. Hopefully they do so. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, but it's tough for politicians to admit they were wrong and go, well, actually, we had an oopsie. But I don't know, patch up some of your laws a little bit, maybe make it a little less attractive for the Swedish gangs to go after these kids. So.
Yep. I think with that, we're pretty much through the show. And I do want to say that our next episode probably is going to be the last one before Christmas. I'm not sure if it's going to be our interview or just a Christmas episode.
Yeah, well, we're
playing everything by ear at the moment. We do have our thing lined up, but we're not sure how the order of things is going to shake out.
Yeah, so
next week is a surprise for you.
Exactly.
It's a Christmas surprise.
It's a surprise for us, too. So we hope you enjoy your surprises and get lost.
Get lost.
Pompey woke up on a sunny day, riding waves instead of a sleigh. With his pineapple shade so bright, he surfs through Christmas with delight. Santa saw him from his sled. He said, Pompey, come ahead. Trade your waves for snowy skies. Help me make some Christmas pies. Pompey the pineapple surfing the tide with a Santa hat and holiday pride. Eating sweet treats all night long, dancing to a Hawaiian Christmas song. Sand were found, while palm trees wore their lights and crowns. Reindeer sipping coconut brew, Santa laughed and joined the crew. Oh, there's no snow, but who's to say Hawaiian Christmas will save the day. Pompey with his fruit
charm, brings a smile with every wave of his arm. Pompey the pineapple surfing the tide with a Santa hat and holiday pride, eating sweet treats all night long, dancing to a Hawaiian Christmas song.